Ever since humanity gained self-awareness, we've been haunted by one question: where does life come from? Ancient people, or at least that's what we think now, had limited practical knowledge. They didn't understand natural phenomena like lightning or solar or lunar eclipses, thus they were scared of them. As a result, what they could not explain, they attributed to highest powers, to supernatural forces. Therefore, they believed that they were created by higher entities out of nothing. In recent centuries, as science developed, we swung to the opposite extreme. We tried to explain everything rationally. We believe only what we can see, sense, or measure with our humble instruments. And sometimes we say that we descended from single-celled organisms. But what if, by gaining self-awareness, we forgot, or were made to forget, our true origin, that we are cosmic creatures and we've always been? And what if we are so different because we've arrived from different corners of the universe? And what if the spiritual and scientific theories are not contradictory, but they complete one another? In this episode, we put the three main theories: creation, Darwinian Abiogenesis, and Panspermia to the test. Let's start with creation. That is an intellectual design. It makes sense because life is so complex and sometimes circumstances align so perfectly that it cannot be explained by accident or chaotic chemistry. And it's comforting to think that there is order and intent behind physical constants. But there are as many creation myths as many cultures. It's nonsense to assume there are hundreds of creators or creating gods. Every myth, every legend contains the grain of truth, but neither of them is the truth. Whom did our ancestors consider gods? Beings whose capabilities were beyond their comprehension, like traveling through the sky, producing unexplainable things with fire, or speaking to humans, staying invisible. But let's look at this from another perspective. What if we packed our advanced technology and visited an isolated tribe who is still in their Stone Age? Or what if we'd be able to visit another planet whose dwellers are cavemen? If we landed in an aircraft, put on a fireworks show, or spoke to them via radio, what would they think? That we are gods. This fact has been proved during World War II, when a group of people visited an isolated tribe in the Pacific Ocean. After they brought them medicine and chocolate with helicopters, they believed that civilized men are gods. That's how the so-called cargo cult emerged. And as Arthur C. Clarke said, any sufficiently advanced technology is undistinguishable from magic. The Bible and all other ancient scripts are full of hints to extraterrestrial life, but those deserve a separate episode. And now let's examine a purely rational pillar, that is Darwinian Abiogenesis, saying that Earth is the chemical cradle of life. The Miller-Urey experiment in 1953 confirmed that amino acids can emerge spontaneously from water, gases, and electrical power. By electrical power, we mean lightning. Amino acids are the building blocks of life. In accordance with modern consensus, it is believed that life evolved in the depths of the oceans near hydrothermal vents. That's why we said when discussing Jupiter's moon Europa that life is plausible there because the moon's conditions are very similar to the early Earth conditions. Ocean beds were full of minerals, and the chemical gradients acted like bioreactors. But science has also its limits, as it faces its ultimate blind spot, that is the time crunch. Earth is 4.5 billion years old. But, as you remember from the last episode, it was a bowl of lava in the beginning, and then it was bombarded by comets and asteroids all the time, so it became habitable nearly 3.8 billion years ago. The first fossils, that is, the evidence of life, however, date back to 3.7 billion years ago. So we cannot seriously think 100 million years were enough for life to emerge. A simple amino acid to become a self-replicating DNA, cell membrane, and all other components. This is unlikely. And as Fred Hoyle said, he is an astronomer, the author of the novel The Black Cloud. You should read it if you like sci-fi. So he stated that the possibility of that life emerged spontaneously is statistically equivalent to a hurricane sweeping through a junkyard and assembling a fully functioning Boeing 747. And this brings us to the third pillar, namely Panspermia, or in other words, life seeding. It suggests that life did not emerge on Earth, but originates somewhere else. Panspermia operates on 3 levels. First is pseudopanspermia. Amino acids and RNA components can travel in comets and meteorites. This was confirmed when the Churyumov-Gerasimenko comet was studied. The second is lithopanspermia. It says that not only RNA compounds travel in space rocks, but also bacteria. There were lots of experiments on the International Space Station to find out whether these bacteria can survive space conditions, that is vacuum, minus 270 degrees Celsius, or cosmic radiation. And the result is, yes, they can survive in case they are shielded in these rocks. The third level, the most fascinating, which I fully support, is directed panspermia. And this was suggested by Crick, who received a Nobel Prize as a co-discoverer of DNA helix. What he said was that DNA is so complex and sometimes so perfect that it's obviously of alien origin. There was not enough time for life to evolve on Earth. But as the universe is 10 billion years older than Earth, it could have created something so complex. I hope neither of you believe that in the universe so vast, where there are billions of galaxies, we are the only intelligent life. Be serious. These three theories might look contradictory, but not necessarily. Could advanced civilization visit Earth? Most definitely. And whether they created another species for experimental goals or the noble goal to spread consciousness, we don't know, but both are possible. Are complicated biochemical processes required for life to evolve? Undeniably. Do complex molecules travel through space? Most certainly. Water was brought on Earth by comets. Gold was not forged on Earth. It was forged in neutron stars and later scattered into space. We are made of stardust. And this is not a poetic saying, but a proved fact. And to close this episode, I'd like to share with you Max Planck's thoughts, who was the father of quantum physics. As a man who has devoted his whole life to the most clear-headed science, to the study of matter, I can tell you, as a result of my research about atoms, this much. There is no matter as such. All matter originates and exists only by virtue of a force which brings the particle of an atom to vibration and holds this most mini solar system of atoms together. We must assume behind this force the existence of a conscious and intelligent mind. This mind is the matrix of all matter. Concept of creation cannot be excluded. But who is the ultimate creator? Not any god with a name or human traits, but the conscious universe. Every star, every planet, and ourselves are made of pure energy.